don't want it in my restaurant, but I'll just make them leave. You can't sanction them for using it. This is blanket. There is no exception. The words that they're using matter. This would be part of our Constitution forever. We would never change this if it ends up passing. So it is not supportive of freedom if you want to grow your own, and that it infringes on the freedom of people that don't want to be impacted by marijuana use and just want to be able to do. And I think a lot of Floridians, like, look, I mean, Joe's going to talk about, like we want to discourage this use. It is not positive, okay? I know some people are saying, like, it doesn't matter, people. That's not true. There's a lot of people that think differently. I get that. But I think a lot of Floridians are like, you know what? Whatever people are doing in their home, like, I don't really care. I just don't want it to overrun our public spaces. Bet your bottom dollar, if this amendment passes, it will forever change the culture of Florida. It will forever change all these spaces and all these places that we've liked. And, you know, our state is a jewel in this country. Is there any, I mean,
Shalom everyone, my name is Erez Soref. I'm the president of One for Israel. I'm sure many of you have seen news about Israel and the Middle East over the past year. It's been a very rough year to live here. There is an immeasurable amount of suffering going on in Israel, the Gaza Strip, and throughout the Middle East. Our team is pulling together resources and mobilizing aid packages to all people in need.
I like it. It's mine. The prices blow my mind.
Colorado, California, they went down this road. Colorado was the first. You never hear people say, you know what, I was against it, but I was wrong. It's good that it happened. You hear the opposite all the time. People say, you know what, I was for it, and it hasn't worked out. I wish we had not done that. So this is not about the freedom. It's also something that, okay, one corporation has done 100 million plus. They're obviously writing it to force you to buy it from them. Are they going to do anything else to give them? Are there any other goodies they're going to try to put in our Constitution to benefit them? Yes, there are. So here's what they do. And again, you would not know this from the ballot summary. This is, the Supreme Court of Florida should have never approved this ballot summary. It doesn't tell you what's in the amendment. It was a huge, huge mistake. They didn't do their job. And so now we're having to really work, just educate people. Here's the thing. You guys can decide how you can vote on it. If everyone fully understood it, we'll live with the verdict. But I think what happens is a lot of people don't know, and you will not know this on the ballot. So here's what it does. So they have given themselves a total cloak of protection from any accountability. So the companies that are favored in this, where you got to buy the weed from, they are acting in accordance, you know, with this Constitution as it relates to acquiring, cultivating, processing, manufacturing, selling, and distributing marijuana products to adults shall not be subject to criminal or civil liability or sanctions under Florida law. There's no exceptions to that. So what does that mean? Total immunity from civil liability for any of their business operations. If they produce defective weed and you have a seizure, are you going to be able to sue them? Not according to this. This says no liability. It didn't say, well, they're still liable for negligence and product liability. No. Distributing. If they've got weed in one of their trucks and they're bringing it to a dispensary and they run over some kid, is the family going to be able to sue for them? Not according to this. This is blanket immunity language. This is something that's never been done in a state constitution in our history. I don't think any history to do this. And no sanctions under Florida law. So, you know, it's like we may, because what's happened in California and Colorado, they're not allowed to sell to minors, but they package it and things that look like Sour Patch Kids or all these other things, and it ends up being sold to minors, maybe through the back door. I don't know how it does, but it's been bad. You know, we wouldn't be able to regulate the packaging because we couldn't hold them accountable. You can't sanction them at all under Florida law. So this is a grotesque attempt to shield this one company and this one industry from any accountability or any type of liability. There's not another business. I mean, if at the taco place, if he were serving, you know, bogus food and people started to break out in hives and seizures, you know, he would have to be responsible for that. And, you know, if you're building a house for somebody and the thing collapses because you were negligent, you would be responsible. And so somehow marijuana, these companies, you got to buy it from them, and then there's nothing you can do to them if they don't behave appropriately. That is totally unacceptable when it comes to this. And then they make the argument, well, there's going to be money for education and law enforcement. Help our teachers, help our... Read this. There is nothing in this amendment that dedicates any funding for education, law enforcement, nothing. That is totally fabricated. It is not in here if you actually read the text of the amendment. Now, when Colorado did it, the argument was, look, people smoke marijuana. And that's true in Florida, even apart from our medical. I get people do it, right? I mean, like, that obviously is the case. Now, they're not allowed to do it in public, and I think that's a good thing that that's not allowed, but people do it in their homes, they do it at parties, whatever. And the argument is, well, you know, since people are going to do it, if you legalize it and tax it, man, you're gonna eliminate the black market, it's going to hurt the drug cartels, and you're going to have all this tax revenue. What has happened in Colorado? Did it eliminate the black market? To the contrary, the black market is bigger than ever. Why? Two reasons. One, when you do policies like Colorado, it does increase use. You will have a lot more people that are smoking marijuana if Amendment 3 passes. I don't think that's good for Florida. I think it's good for people's health, but more people will do it. But if you did try to tax it, it raises the price. So you have a bigger market of consumers, and you have an easier opportunity for the black market to undercut with lower prices. That's why Colorado's black market is bigger. And is Colorado now reaping any type of financial windfall from marijuana? Zero. They did probably raise some initially, but that peters off very quickly. And even if the legislature decided to tax it, knowing what happened, they would obviously, that would be a tough decision because you're doing you would be building a black market. But what about the decline in tax revenue for a decline in tourism, for a decline in other type of economic opportunities? I mean, this is a dynamic situation. Don't tell me people are going to want to come to Florida if all the beaches reek of marijuana. That is going to hurt this state. That will not be good. We would probably become a destination state for marijuana, which would compound the problem, and I think it would make us much less family friendly, and I think we would drive away tourists. So this is a dynamic thing, but there will be a bigger black market. That's true in California. That's true in New York. That's true in Colorado. Everyone that's done this has happened. There's not one example where the black market has dried up. And then finally, and I'll turn it over to Joe, and we'll start the panel.
1,000 free draws to start the game. It's the